Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today my name is Usetale. If you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. In this channel I share tutorial videos on how to cut and sew, and today's tutorial video is going to be all about the making of this beautiful shift dress. So if this is something you're interested in, keep on watching and let's get started. For the making of the dress, this is the fabric I'm going to be making use of. This fabric is Adire fabric. So you can use any fabric of your choice. You can make use of Ankara fabric if that's what you have. You're also going to be needing a fringe, okay? So my fringe is just about 9 or 10 inches long. So I'm going to go ahead now to cut it out on the fabric. So my fabric is about 2 yards, okay? 2 yards or 3 yards should be enough depending on your size. So you're going to go ahead and fold your fabric together into two, just the way you see me do. So after you're done doing that, you will rule a line at the top, which is going to be for the shoulder line. Now you're going to take the full length of the dress. I'm making use of length of 43 inches. So you're going to place your tape on the starting line, then you will take the full length of the dress. So you'll be adding extra 1.5 to it for the hem allowance. Then go ahead and roll it out just like this. After you are done doing that, you're going to come to the shoulder line. You will take your shoulder measurement divided by 2. My shoulder is 16, divided by 2 is 8. So I'm going to go ahead to mark it. After you are done marking your shoulder, you're going to take the length of the sleeve and make use of length of 10 inches. After marking the length of your sleeve, you're going to be adding extra 1 inch to it, which is going to be for the hemming of the sleeve. So after you are done doing that, you will come down here by 1 inch, which is going to be for the shoulder slope. So just go ahead and slope it like that. After doing that, now at this end here from the shoulder slope, you will come down by about 9 or 10 inches, which is going to be for the opening of the sleeve, okay? So you measure what you have at the shoulder altogether, then you will take the same thing here. Then you're going to use your ruler to rule a straight line just like this. So after you are done doing that, you're going to be taking your round body measurement. First of all, you're just going to rule a line here, which is going to be where you will take your bust measurement. So the fullest part of my body is my hip, and it is 40 inches, and 40 divided by 4 is 10. I'm going to mark it on this line. I'm going to be adding extra inches to it for ease. Remember, it's a free dress. So initially, I added extra 4 inches. After sewing, it was a bit too big. I had to be reshaping it. I would advise that you add extra 3 inches if you don't want it to be too big. So I measure what I have in total, and I came down here and I mark the same thing. So come down again here. You're going to be marking the same thing. So after you are done marking, you're going to use your ruler to connect the dots to give you a straight line. Then at this side here, I'm just going to curve it to give it like, you know, the shape, okay? So now that I'm done covering it like that, I'm going to be adding the pocket. So I'm going to be cutting it alongside with the pocket. So I'll just measure down to the waistline. So I'm making use of 17 for my waistline. So measure it down, then rule a straight line. So from that waistline, I'm going to come down by about 2 inches. You can use 1.5. So after you're done marking it, for the length of the pocket, I'll make use of 11 inches, either 10 or 11 inches. So just mark it. Then you're going to rule a straight line out just like this. Now for the width of the pocket, how wide I want it to be, I'm going to make use of 6 or 6.5 inches. So I made use of 6.5. So now I'm just going to curve it from this top area here. I'll just curve it to meet the mark that I made. Can you see? So here I'm also going to make a little curve at the end here, so it won't be totally sharp. Can you see what I'm doing? So guys, can you see? So after you're done doing it like that, this is what you're going to have. We have successfully draped out the pockets together with the dress. Now you will come to the top here. You're going to take your neck width and make use of 3 inches. And for the neck depth of the back, I'll come down by 1 inch. 3 inches by 1 inch. So you're just going to use your free hand to create a small round neckline. So this is going to be the neck for the back. So the V neckline for the front, I'll come down by 9 inches. So I just mark down 9 inches in a slanted form. Then I'm going to use my ruler to just rule a V neckline. So let me measure it again. You can see I have 9 inches. If you don't want it to be deep, you can make use of 8 or 8.5 inches. So this is going to be the front piece, but I'll be using it to cut on the back piece first before we cut the front neckline. So as I was cutting, I was skeptical. I just wanted to make this opening 10 inches just to be on the safer side, because I don't want a situation whereby after cutting it is a bit too small. Okay, so I just added extra 1 inch. Then you're going to go ahead now to cut out everything. Then you will cut the neckline of the back. Now I'm going to be using this piece to cut another one for the back before cutting the neckline of the front. So I just folded my fabric together into two again, as you can see. Now I'm going to place the first one on it. So just place it on it like this, then use it to trace it out. So guys, after you are done cutting it out like this, now you're going to take out the second one that you just cut, so you can cut the neckline of the front, which is the V neckline. So guys, that is it for the cutting of the front and back pieces. I went ahead to cut out this piece of fabric I'm going to be using for the design in front. This plain part is what I'm going to be using for the right side, not the designed part. Okay, so what I have here is 15 inches. What I need is 14. The extra 1 inch is for the folding allowance. So here I have 11. What I need is 10. The extra 1 inch is for the folding allowance. So I'm going to bring my fringe. So my fringe is 9 inches. You can see it's 9 inches long, and here I have 10 inches. So I'm just going to be shaping this part a little bit. So 9 inches divided by 2, I have 4.5. I'll just add extra half inch for the folding. So I'm just going to shapen it so that the fringe will be able to fit in at the lower parts. You get? So just make a cut just like this. So guys, after you are done doing that, this is what you're going to have. Now the fringe is going to fit perfectly. Okay, now I'm going to bring my fabric. I'm going to be using it to cut the neckline on this piece of fabric that I have here. So just place the neckline on it, the V neckline. Can you see? Then go ahead and cut it out. So guys, after you are done cutting the neckline to the piece of fabric, before you go ahead to sew it to your fabric, so this is how we are going to sew it. So I told you is this plain part that is going to be for the front. I don't want to use this design part for the front, so I want the front to be plain just like this. So this is how I want it. So before I go ahead to sew it to my fabric, I'm going to iron air stay to it. So I went ahead to iron air stay to the part I'm using for the back. Okay, so after you are done ironing, now I'm going to fold it. I'm just going to use my iron to fold it so that it will be easy for me to sew when I take it to the sewing machine. So just use your iron to fold it about half inch at the two sides and also at the end, just the way you see me doing. So after you are done folding, now you're going to sew it to your fabric. You'll be sewing it to the wrong side of your fabric just like this. Can you see how I'm placing it? Then take it to your sewing machine to sew it down. After sewing, make a notch at the V area just like that. Now you're going to turn it to the right side. Can you see? So you will take it back to your sewing machine to top stitch it so that it can stay flat. Now you're going to be top stitching it to your fabric side, to the main fabric side. Okay, so after I was done top stitching, I went ahead to use my iron to iron it out very well. Now I'm going to be sewing it round. So I'm just going to use my pin to pin it down just the way you see me doing. So pin it down at the two sides just like this. Now you're going to bring your fringe. You're going to place it at the at the bottom here. So just place it on it like this. Then make sure that the design fabric is covering the entire fringe. Make sure it is covering it. Can you see what I'm doing, guys? So make sure to arrange it very well. Make sure everything is straight. Then you go ahead to pin it down as well. Now, after you are done pinning, you're going to take it to your sewing machine to sew. So just go ahead and use your, machine to sew it just like this. After I was done sewing, this is what I have. Can you see how clean the sewing is? Everything is straight and it came out so pretty. So for the length of the fringe, you can choose to cut it. I just left mine like that. I later didn't even cut it at all. So you're going to bring the back piece. I already went ahead to cut out this piece of fabric I'll be using to turn the neckline. So I'm going to take the piece of fabric to the sewing machine. I will just hem it round like that. So after I was done hemming the end, now you're going to place it to your fabric, the right side to your fabric, then you sew it down. Then after sewing, I went ahead to make cut on it. Can you see? And I also top stitch it. So after top stitching, I iron it flat. So this is what you're going to have it's looking like. Now you're going to be joining the shoulders. You place the front piece on it. So this piece of fabric, you will open it up. You will be using it to cover it up at the shoulder area. Can you see what I did? You take it to your sewing machine to sew, okay? So after sewing, this is what I had. I went ahead to use my overlock machine to weave it. Now you're going to open it up, then you have it looking like this. You're going to be placing hemming gum inside of it to use and gum it together, okay? You can choose to hem it with your hand needle and thread, but I just like to use hemming gum to gum it. Place your hemming gum inside, then use your hot iron to iron it out. So guys, after you are done doing that, this is what you're going to have. Now you're going to hem this sleeve area. So just fold it together 2 times like this. Double fold it, then sew it down. You will do the same thing to this other side. So guys, after sewing the sleeve, now you're going to be joining the sides together. So to join the sides, you're just going to arrange it. Then after you are done arranging, you're going to pin it down with your pin. So after you are done pinning, now the next thing is to join. At the sleeve area here, I'm going to measure the opening. So I'll be making use of 9 inches. Remember, I added to it before cutting, okay? But for the body, I'm going to be joining it using ½ inch. Then when I get to this pocket area here, I will stop. Then I will measure down 7 inches for the opening of the pocket, 6.5 or 7 inches. Then I'm going to continue to join all the way to the end. So after doing that, you also go ahead and join the pockets like this using ½ inch. Now you're just going to go to your sewing machine. You follow the chalk to join it down. You will do the same thing to the other side. This is what I had after I was done joining the two sides. So here is the pockets. Then we also have the pockets at the other side as well. Now the last thing I'm going to do is to hem the end here. I'm going to take it back to the sewing machine. I'm going to fold it 2 times. Then I will hem it all around. So after I was done hemming it, this is what I have it to be looking like. So guys, this is it. We are done making this beautiful sheep dress. So you can choose to cut out of the fringe or you can choose to leave it long like that. It totally depends on what you want. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video.